Hi, welcome to the Nurse Podcast. This is where your path to vibrant health begin. My name is Charlène, and today I will be your host and will be assisted by
Imran.
And Maxim. Hi everyone. So today we want to tell you guys our stories to make you guys more aware of the efficiency problem of our health system.
First of all, just taking an appointment, it's like complicated right now because the human contact is disappear because the appointment is taken by online. So there's nobody to talk. So this is the big problem of efficiency of the health system in Quebec.
Do you have any experience that you can share with us?
Yeah, unfortunately, during last December, we had an appointment with the doctor and we needed to have a blood test done. And I was fasting and I asked in the front desk if they have a place to do a blood test. They said yes, and there is fee. So it's fine for the fees that I'm ready to pay. Then I said, I'm ready, no problem, I can pay. Then also they just told me that I have to take an appointment. So I told them that I was here right now fasting. I have the requisition and I just saw the doctor from here. And then they say, sorry, we cannot take you now because you have to take an appointment. And there is no lineup, there is nothing in the waiting room. So I had to take an appointment. And for the appointment, it's another story. And I have to go in the Click Santé. Then the schedule is not open. And a few days later, I tried again. And they told me that I have to wait 3 months to get appointment in the system. I didn't talk with anybody to take the appointment. So I waited for 3 months for the blood test. And after that, I had to take another appointment to see the doctor. So it's been 1 year. So I don't have any appointment with the follow-up for the blood test done.
And you still haven't seen anyone yet?
I did my blood test after
Phew.
3 months. After 3 months, but I'm waiting to seeing the result with the doctor, and I have to take another appointment. And with the same system, without talking with anybody. And before we have
the COVID.
It was easier before because the waiting time, you go to the clinic and you want to take an appointment. And before it was the first come, the first served. So now they don't want this anymore. So we have to take the appointment online without talking with anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, so me personally, something that kind of looked the same happened to me. So one time, it was I think about 2 years ago, I was playing rugby here with the CGEP in the team. Oh yeah, sorry. So so if you know rugby, it's a really tough sport. There's a lot of contacts and there's a lot of emergencies. So we usually always have a physio on the court. But like when sometimes the problems are too big, like you have to call an ambulance, and that's exactly what happened to me. So I was at my game, and then like a 300-pound guy, we did a head-to-head, and then I just fell on the floor. Bah! And so I had to get rushed to the hospitals because when they looked at me, I was bleeding from my nose, and actually we could see some part of my skull falling out of my nose.
Oh my God.
Because if you know, right here in front of your skull, we have like a 2-piece thick. So, because it's the nasal holes that go in the brain. And so the first layer was broken. If it would have just been like by an inch to the right, I could have been disabled right now and have really bad problem. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I think it's the temper. If it is that, it's really, really dangerous. And then, yeah, exactly. So what my problem was, I went to they called the ambulance, and the ambulance couldn't find where we were. And when they found me, they just thought I was some kid who had a big bruise on his skull. And yeah, exactly. So it took about like 1 hour to them to get to me and to take me to the hospital. And then that is not it. And when I went to the hospital, the nurse made me wait. No, she checked me and she thought I was fine. She gave me 2 Tylenols. She said, I don't think it's a big problem. That's what she said. And then, I wait. I'm like, no, I'm a tough man. I've never cried a lot before in my life. I had my wrist broken and went just by it. And I was like almost crying and everything. They wouldn't give me anything for pain or anything. And it took about 6 hours before I met the doctor. And I haven't done anything yet. So just 6 hours to meet the doctor. And right when he saw me, he just touched a bit. And he said, yeah, definitely broken. And so then, yeah, so it took about 7 hours for a broken skull when you know that just about an inch to the right, I could have died, and if there was any problem, it's some skull brains in the brain, it can give us a lot of damage if you're not checked fast enough. So yeah, and then that was not even finished. Then I just checked the doctor. Of course, they gave me medicine so I could feel better. Like I don't know what it's called, methamphetamine, I think.
Okay.
The pain medicine.
The narcotic.
Yeah, exactly. And then I didn't even take the radios. So about like 2 hours, then I took the radios. They took me back to my home with a bottle of opioids. So this is a really strong drugs, if you guys don't know. And yeah, it really
Morphine.
helps with the pain. Yeah, exactly. And that's about it. After that, it took about like 1 month to get my surgery, which was kind of long for a problem this big, but luckily it happened. But still, I have to wait a really long time for it to happen. So this was my story.
So my story is that in around COVID, a little bit after the COVID, maybe the year after, I got sick. I got a sickness and I was like high temperature, dizzy, very, very tired. And so I stayed home maybe 3, 4, 5 days because, when you go for an emergency with temperature, they're not going to keep you. But I was sleeping like day and night and for 4 or 5 days, drink a little bit, but not too much. And I knew that I was maybe dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a little confused that I realized after. Anyways, I went to that emergency and told them that I was sick for 6 days and I had high temperature and I was very no strength and I was very tired all the time. So they evaluate me, took my temperature, my blood pressure, and then they assumed that probably I had COVID. So now in emergency, you have one side that is COVID and one side is not COVID. So they send me to the side where is COVID. And that side was, I'm not going to tell you the hospital, but that side was like outside, like in a tent. And so I waited maybe an hour or 2, maybe 3. And I was very tired. So I was kind of fainting in my seat.
Was it summer or winter?
It was like autumn.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, autumn. And so I was asking them for a stretcher or something so I can lay on it because I had difficulty to just stay in my seat and I was feeling so bad. And they refused me the stretcher. So I didn't know what to do, but instead of falling from my chair, well, I went down and I put a little PK on the floor And I lay there for the rest of, they made me wait maybe six hours. And I was
That's
laying
crazy.
for 4 hours there. And sometimes I was kind of losing conscious, that I think. And my boyfriend at the time was there, and he was going in and out and saying, hey, it's not possible. What's happening? And there was nobody in the emergency. I was like me and my boyfriend who didn't need no help. So anyways, they, at one point after 6 hours, they came and they transferred me, and suddenly they put me at the ICU, and they said that I was very dehydrated and I was confused, and they gave me some fluid and everything. I was so pissed off because they didn't believe me when I said, no, I don't have COVID. I'm sick with something else. And they didn't believe me. So even though they took a few tests and it was always negative, they never believed me. Anyways, that's part of my story. The rest will come later.
So if you guys like listening to us, we will make another upload every 2 weeks. And our next topics will be about how to, and we'll have an interview and a response to a Reddit post we saw.
Yay!
So thank you guys.